Well, okay, so we were trying to use a new program to record ourselves because Zoom last week failed us horribly.
Uh,
And so we tried something new, and of course it was like, this is awesome! And then it was like, nope, it's not going to work anymore. I mean, I guess we could give it a try again, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it now.
it left a little bitter taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Let's leave it. It's a little still too fresh.
Yeah, maybe we'll circle back around. We'll come back to it.
Let it think about what it did.
Yeah. It think about what it did, not us.
No. Definitely not user error.
No, it needs to go sit in the corner and think about it.
Exactly.
Balls, a supernatural podcast with Lizzie and Missy.
Hey.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I am melting. How are you?
I don't want to rub it in, but I'm actually kind of cool and comfortable.
I hate you, like, a little bit.
I know.
It's
fine.
I
mean, you could have came over.
You didn't have to wear your mask. I have some. Except I want that really sweet mask that one person on Instagram has.
Oh, the supernatural one.
Yeah, that one. So made this. It was somebody else.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
Oh, it's really cool.
Well, now I need to go look it up.
Oh, okay, so here it is. If anyone is interested, Little Library of Magic.
Oh, that sounds like a fun place.
Yes, it is a crafty mama who hand makes items inspired by fandoms. So shout out to Little Library of Magic, who has the Wayward AF Supernatural giveaway along with 11 other shops.
Yes, Femme de Bloom. That's how I heard about that.
And you sent me the link, and then I went to all of these places.
Yeah, Femme de Bloom has, like, she makes earrings, like, really cool, like, Disney earrings and Star Wars earrings and stuff like that. I have a couple pair. They're pretty awesome.
But this mask is adorable because it has, like, pieces of pie and a tie and Dad's journal and Sam, Dean, and Cass.
Pieces of pie? Pieces
of pie. So those are in her shop to buy, and then I think she has a headband, a supernatural themed headband to give away as part of it. So if anyone's looking for masks that they want to wear, check out Little Library of Magic.
Yay!
Shout out to them. Also, I gotta do some housekeeping. Because she's gonna hear this eventually, and we were talking about it. I need a shout out to my mom, because she listens to us now.
I think that's so amazing. It's awesome. I think it's awesome that your mom listens to us.
And she says that your voice has stayed the same, my voice has changed. I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay.
But she has started to listen to... she didn't tell me, and,
Okay.
The one who thinks that my voice changed for no reason besides potentially allergies is for the worst. My bad.
Oh my goodness.
But you choose to listen to us, so that's on you, boo. But I needed to shout out to my mom. Thanks for listening to us, Mom.
How's she gonna feel about this shout out? She gonna be excited?
Like, whoop whoop! My daughter called me out on her online radio network thing. Now she's gonna be super mad because I used an old lady voice. I'm sorry, Mom. You don't sound like that. And I'm done with my housekeeping. I'm gonna stop there before I dig a hole. But yeah, Mom's listening to us for the win.
Let's say hi to Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. So that's where we're at.
I'm trying to jump ahead here. I was going to say something about the episode, and I was like, wait, I have other things to do before that happens.
I was saying, we haven't even brought up the episode, but when we do bring up the episode, so the girl who's in this episode, little known fact, I've extremely recently become obsessed with Hannibal.
Okay.
With Mads, who I feel bad is always typecast as a bad guy just because he's super Danish.
Uber Danish?
He's uber Danish. But one of the characters, Margot, is played by the girl from this episode, and I about died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, wait, she looks really... Wait a minute, hold on. What are the odds that it gives us a supernatural and this chick would be in it?
Interesting.
But yeah, I've gotten addicted to the series Hannibal, because it's on Netflix.
Gotta love Netflix.
Ooh, Disney Plus was a shout-out for watching Hamilton all day today, and that's a problem. I started learning the dance from my shot. So the actress's name is Catherine Isabel. She plays Margot Verger in Hannibal, which if anyone's familiar with the Hannibal series, or Hannibal or Red Dragon in general, Margot Verger is the sister of Mason Verger, who is the one that Hannibal actually convinces, after a lot of psychotic drugs, to eat his own, to feed his own face to dogs and to eat his own nose. And she plays Ava in Supernatural.
They hit the button, though.
Push the button.
They did.
Okay.
I was so happy for that to work.
It was good for like a hot minute.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it did work, and then it was like, no.
I'm working too well.
Exactly. I wanted to give you a little bit of hope, and then I wanted to crush your dreams.
It probably went, hey, this girl is talking about some guy feeding someone's brother to a dog. We need to stop them.
We can't have that on our program.
Even though I think it's talking about a TV show that was made from a book about something that's a little too much.
Yeah. Way to go, Liz.
I'm the worst. I was just trying to explain who Catherine Isabel was in Hannibal, which was Margot Verger, who's the sister of Mason Verger, who's like a key character, who's also played by Gary Oldman in the movie Hannibal.
Mm-hmm.
Because he uses a psychotic or some kind of drug on him that makes him feed him his own face to the dogs and then eat his own nose. But then I was going to say that Catherine Isabel plays Ava in Supernatural, so we were getting away from the gory part.
I can't wait to edit those two pieces together. Okay, so we're going to talk about Season 2, Episode 10, Hunted? Hunted.
Yes.
Not hunting.
Which came out the day before my birthday in 2007.
Oh, really?
Yes, this was released January 11th, 2007.
Well, happy birthday in 2007.
Thanks! I don't know what I was doing in 2007
Can we
for
tell
my birthday.
Can we tell the kids how old you were?
Sure.
You don't have to.
I would have been 19.
19. Just a baby?
Turning the big 19.
Not even the big 2-0 yet.
Not even the big 2-0. Still can't do anything for fun. We definitely probably went to Buffalo Wild Wings or Dave & Buster's.
B-dubs.
B-dubs. I'm a sucker for a good old buffalo wing.
Just one wing?
No, there's got to be like a lot. Boneless, bone-in, don't care.
So do we want to hear where our friends ranked this episode?
Yes. Tell me where Joey Gladstone ranked this. I feel bad because I feel like if anyone actually listens to this and they go to see this poor man, they're going to call him Uncle Joey Gladstone.
Yeah, and he's like, that's not even my name.
Like, that's not even me.
So we'll start with Jessica at Desire.com. So she ranked this episode at 154. She said, it's an exciting episode that brings back Gordon in a great way and introduces us to Ava, another special child like Sam. It's like a mini action movie that ends on a great cliffhanger.
Did she and I watch the same episode?
I thought that when I wrote it down because this is what I wanted to say before. I felt that this episode was underwhelming.
Yeah, and I don't agree with the bringing Gordon back in a great light.
No, that was, in a great way. It brought back in a great way. Not a great light.
He's still as psychotic as he was in the last time we saw him.
Yeah, and I mean, like, trying to snipe down Sam, like, I don't know. Anyway, so then Uncle Joey ranked at 146, so they're kind of in the same range a little bit.
Okay.
Although his kind of would have been, because his wasn't out of as many episodes. So hers would have been kind of in the middle, and his is kind of like pushing toward the end of his ranking. He says, Dean tells Sam that their father had advised him to kill Sam if he ever turned evil from sucking down Yellow Eye's blood as an infant. Sorry.
Did Dad know that much information?
I don't know.
I didn't think we got to the actual, like, drinking demon blood thing.
Yeah, no.
It was just the plan and knowing that Sam could potentially go dark side.
Right. Then he says, the boys track down other children of Yellow Eye's army, complicating matters. Unhinged hunter Gordon is back and hunting demon something. I can't read it. Progeny? Is that a thing?
Sure.
Progeny?
Yeah.
Okay. Ava, another child like Sam, goes missing. Some solid setup for season 2 finale. Is it?
I mean, I would have been fine with Croatoan being the season 2 finale.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with them.
I don't know. This just felt like a filler episode to me, a good way to kind of give us information that we obviously needed to get.
Yes. I feel the exact same way. I like the ending. I thought the ending was fun. But everything leading up to that, I probably could have done without it. Okay, in my Supernatural Urban Dictionary of the week, who do you think I picked this week?
Sam?
I did!
Yes!
It's Sam Winchester! So G. Watson posted in 2018 that Sam Winchester means a giant nerd, a moose, according to the demon Crowley, a bitch, according to Dean Winchester, Sam's brother. Sam's also a daddy. He's also a smole bean who's too precious for this world. And apparently a smole bean means innocent. I had to look it up. I didn't know what that meant.
I don't think I've ever. I feel like we're dating ourselves, but I've also never heard that.
No, smole bean. SMOL bean.
I've heard small, like oh, you're so small. I guess that does mean innocent.
Okay, I'll go with it.
I don't know where the bean came from.
I don't know.
But okay.
Yeah.
He is too precious now.
Yes.
Because this is when I first started watching the series, I was Team Sam all the way. All the way. Loved Sam. Was like, ew, Sam. And then that whole shindig happened, and I fell off the Sam boat, and now knowing what happens,
yeah,
and rewatching it again, I'm Team Dean all the way.
Yes. I'll just say I've always been Team Dean. Now, did you watch Gilmore Girls?
No.
Oh, I was going to say,
didn't.
Because sometimes that influences people on the Sam train.
Well, and you see, you would think it would have influenced me on the Dean train, because I watched, and I didn't. Again, shout out to my mom.
Hey, Mom!
Watch Days of Our Lives every day religiously.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously Jensen Ackles was on Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
So I already kind of had a preconceived knowledge of him. So you'd think that would have influenced me to be just Team Dean from the beginning.
Maybe you just wanted a change. Maybe you wanted something different.
Maybe I was like, I've seen enough of you. You, new face, young one, I like you.
Who is this boy that's closer to my age?
Who is this boy that could potentially be my future husband? Just kidding, I live in a fantasy world, but it's alright, I'll live in that for a while now. Oh wait, now he has no soul, fuck my life.
Yeah. That was another weird thing, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. And that's where it kind of fell off. And then, I still try to sympathize with him.
Yeah.
For a while. I was in full self-doubt. I was like, no, it's okay, it's not his fault, he doesn't mean it, he's trying, but he doesn't know, and he went through all this, and then eventually I was just like, nope, he's just an asshole now.
Yeah.
I digress.
Kind of did that with Demon Dean too, but again, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Not to spoil anything.
And I realized, by the way, that I don't, so we've been saying fucking Meg, goddamn Meg, for every almost episode.
Uh-huh.
I completely forgot about the other Meg.
I know.
And I like her.
See, that's another thing where you can differentiate blonde versus brunette.
Oh,
brunette
yeah,
Meg I like.
Ruby.
Blonde Meg I hate.
Okay, so Hunted.
Do we want an outline?
They're gonna hate us. They're gonna be like, there's so much fucking banter. What, do these people never talk to each other? Do they not know each other? We do, actually.
But now that we're working from home, we don't get to talk to each other like we used to. I can't just peek over the little cube and be like, hey, Liz, da-da-da-da-da-da. Now I have to type it. And it.
Some days we work too much, and then we can't do it.
Yeah.
It's a holiday weekend, so we gotta work ahead, that whole shit.
4 days in one day, So you want an outline?
Yeah, give it to me.
Okay. Okay.
Unroll the scroll. Sorry, I'm still stuck on Hamilton. You're about to like sing the farmer and.
Okay. Distraught Sam sneaks off to Indiana without Dean after Dean tells him what their father said before he died. A psychic tells Sam that she sought him out. Wait, what? Was she a psychic?
I don't think she was.
I don't know about this. I'll still say it though.
Because she said she just started getting the abilities not that long ago, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess she could be.
I mean, does that make Sam psychic?
I don't know, because I thought she was just having nightmares, though, not like, are they psychic nightmares? I mean, we're getting...
There's Sam psychic nightmares. She's the female Sam.
Okay. So, a psychic tells Sam that she sought him out to warn him of his impending death. Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, is it from Dean?
Ah! No. Can I just say, when this opens up and that kid is talking to the psychiatrist, that guy, the doctor guy.
Dr. Waxler.
Yeah, do you know who Javier Bardem is?
That name sounds really familiar.
He was in No Country for Old Men. He was the assassin.
That's why that name sounds familiar.
I think that guy looks like him.
Kinda.
Like, when it, like, panned to him, like, that guy looks really familiar. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, Dr. Waxler did seem familiar, but I couldn't place my finger on it. So did Scott, though.
Yeah, he did. He looked a little jacked up, though.
He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Talk about a tortured soul.
Yeah.
So we open up with good old Scotty boy in Dr. Waxler's office talking about his psychic abilities. But his are basically like he has to touch something.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else kind of just sees the future, can control other people's minds, or...
That's right. Wasn't he like, did he like electrocute a cat or something?
Yeah. And then the poor guy walks to his car and gets stabbed. But we never see the actual killer.
No. And that whenever he was stabbed and it kind of like didn't it kind of like move up? It's kind of like jiggling around in there.
He basically got like gutted, essentially.
It reminded me of Scream when people.
Oh yeah, that was very Scream-esque. Even the way that it was shot, like overhead by the subway trains.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see like the dark figure looming in the background.
Yep.
And Scott turns around, doesn't see anybody, and then he turns around and there's a shadow in the window.
Yeah.
And then he gets stabbed in the chest. And then obviously because we're dramatic, we have to have blood coming out of the mouth too.
Yeah, that was like the thickest like chocolate syrup blood.
That was like just straight corn syrup.
Yeah.
But like corn syrup that kind of sat out without the lid on.
Yeah, like coagulated.
Yeah.
My note says, "Oh shit, that kid is killed because he talked."
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
Just how it works. Yellow Eyes was like, nah, fuck that dude. He said something about what I gave him. Kill him.
Exactly. Snitches. Snitches. I want to say, did you see on Twitter the other day that Vasco from Supernatural Virgin posted his notes, like how he takes his notes?
Yes.
And they're like, how, I think you take your notes the same way. They're like, how our notes look. They're just like reactions. And it's like, what the hell is going on?
And you'd think, like, in my mind as I'm taking these notes, I'm like, oh, I'll definitely know what's going on in the episode based on, like, oh, shit, son.
Yeah, exactly. What was mine last week where I was just like, oh, wow, WTF, no, Sam. Awkward. Like, what does that even mean? I don't know now.
Like, I'll go up and be like, damn, Dean, bring in the heat. Like, what?
Damn, son.
Damn, you got some issues. So then we cut after the gorgeous scene by the lake where we last left Sam and Dean, which again is like the most picturesque spot
so
for them to share a couple of beers and watch the sunset. I don't know. That seemed like such a date spot that I thought it was kind of weird.
Is Sam even old enough to drink? I mean,
yeah, because they were in a bar for finals week.
Yeah, I mean, he is like, what, 22 or whatever, 22, 23.
Yeah.
But still, it's like... He does it whenever he's talking to Dean, like Dean says what Dad told him, and then Sam gets his like angry nose wrinkle. You know how his eyes get really small and his nose wrinkles up like.
I always want to know, did Dean stop for beer, or is this just sitting in the Impala? Or is the Impala like Mary Poppins bag? You want it, and it's right there. Dean's like, I need a couple of cold ones. Reaches behind the back seat and is like, oh, here you go.
I know they carry that cooler around, but I feel like you never see it. It's like their clothes. You never see, like, suitcases, so who knows?
And at the same time, like, obviously you never know when you're going to need a fresh heart to summon a demon or create a force field, so...
That's true. Maybe there is a Mary Poppins bag somewhere.
Maybe. Maybe it's the trunk, and we just don't know. It just looks like a small armory.
There's stuff beyond that.
Maybe. Ooh.
You think, like, there's the false bottom, and then there's, like, a falser bottom.
Yeah, now it just makes me think of Guardians of the Galaxy. When he's like, I'm Mary Poppins, bitch! Dean, where'd you get that beer? I'm Mary Poppins, bitch, just take it!
Well, bitch jerk makes a comeback in this episode.
Finally! We haven't heard the endearing nicknames they gave each other
in
a while. And I felt so bad because obviously you can tell when Dean's telling this to Sam that he didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if he didn't want to say it, then why did he tell him? Because he knew how Sam would react. So a part of me is like, did Dean want him to do this? Like, a small part of him?
I think that he needed to get it off his chest.
It was just eating away at him inside.
I think he has so much other stuff that eats at him daily that this was just like, just that he'd think he needed to get that off.
He didn't want to just keep it internalized that his father told him that he'd eventually have to kill his younger brother?
Well, I mean, he did kind of do it for a couple days, right?
True.
So.
And then I felt bad because Dean's like, well, we should just lay low. We won't go hunting for a while. We'll just keep it real cool, calm, collected,
We'll go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
He's like, they have coffee shops that don't sell coffee.
Oh, Dean. So then obviously he waits till Dean's in the hotel room and sneaks out and steals the car next to the Impala. I thought for a second he was going to straight up steal the Impala.
That's what I thought he was doing whenever he started to break into to unlock it. It was like a Dodge Spirit or something.
Mm-hmm.
One of those early 90s cars.
Takes himself to an abandoned house at 5637 Monroe Street, which is like the shadiest and most rundown of abandoned houses.
Yeah, it's so shitty. Were there any houses next to it?
No, and there was like no street lights.
Yeah.
It was like the house at the end of the road.
Where was this episode? Did we say that?
No, we did mention where it's at.
Lafayette, Indiana.
Okay.
That's where we are.
And Sam sneaks in and kaboom, he explodes.
And all that is left is his shoe.
His one shoe. Is this oh my god, is this a precursor?
Is that foreshadowing?
Is that the Easter egg in this episode for future episodes?
I think so.
Oh my god. Putting it all together. This is why you need to go back and rewatch this.
Yeah. I lost a shoe.
I lost my shoe. So when Vine was a thing, I made a Vine with a guy I was dating at the time who was also like 6'3", and we were watching Supernatural for the second time for me, first time for him together. So I nicknamed him Moose.
Okay.
And his hair progressively got longer too. And he
Seems
always
like your
wore
own
plaid.
Sam.
Pretty much. So we made a Vine to that where I was Dean and he was Sam.
Oh, that's.
And I still have it somewhere.
That's awesome.
So then obviously it cuts to a girl waking up from a nightmare with some guy next to her. And we get to see Ellen again.
Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Ellen.
Do you notice how dark Ellen's eyes are?
Yes.
They're very dark. I was kind of like a little demon-y there for a second. Oh, and then we find, where's Joe? I have written down, where did Joe go?
So Ellen says that Dean's been calling.
Yeah.
So then obviously Sam asks where Joe is, and Joe just kind of left because she wanted to hunt, and Ellen said, not under my roof.
I don't think so.
But Joe does send her postcards every now and then.
I like how it's postcards in 2007 and not like a phone call.
Well, does Joe have her own cell phone, or is she probably still on her mom's plan?
I don't know, but there's got to be one payphone left in America. She can go to Roanoke to that payphone, or
Oh, yep, true.
the Croatoan thing.
Croatoan payphone. Pay in blood droplets.
There you go.
I did think it was very sweet that Ellen said that she forgave John a very long time ago for her husband, Bill.
Yeah, that was nice. But then she still wouldn't talk about what had happened, which I mean, she doesn't have to, so.
Well, I think she forgave but doesn't want to revisit.
Right, yeah, you don't want to go back and bring it all up again.
Went through all that. She doesn't want to dig it back up.
Yeah.
I loved Ash. Ash was being so skeptical. He's like, the fuck do you want? Like, basically, he's getting all this information to Sam, and he's just like, the fuck do you want me to do? Some fucking crazy shit. You want me to look up people born on this date who had their mother burn on the ceiling of their nursery?
Is that in the records? Mom burned on ceiling?
I don't know. He had to dig somewhere. He was just like, died in nursery. That's close enough.
Can you Google that?
Oh, this woman died in the hallway before the nursery. No dice.
Nope.
Sorry.
Doesn't fit our criteria.
Nope. So he finds, what, five people that match the same criteria in a nationwide search?
What if this was international? Why are we just looking at the United States? What if there are special kids everywhere?
Because we got Sam. We get Max Miller.
Like Mac Miller?
Well, that's the psychic kid from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Andy Gallagher, which I guess, does that count his brother too?
The
twin.
You should count him.
And Scott Carey.
Which is the kid that died at the beginning of this, right?
Yep, and that's when he says that, because Sam asked for his address, and he goes, well, he's dead. He's in a cemetery in Lafayette, Indiana.
He did.
And said that he just died not that long ago, about a month ago, and the cops have no suspects, but he died stabbed to death in the parking lot. And as he leaves, he tells Ellen to not call Dean, even though she really wants to call Dean. He basically begs her not to say anything and says that Dean can't protect him from this.
Ooh. I think he can.
He's like having an identity crisis.
Yeah. I do like, though, that Ash takes his beer when he leaves.
Yeah, that was funny. You can't let a good cold one go.
Yeah, he just kind of sneaks in there and grabs it.
So Sam obviously goes to Lafayette, Indiana, visits Scott's dad, where he eventually goes up to his room and finds a really creepy, like, Ode to Yellow Eyes mural.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
In the closet.
Yeah, that was real creepy.
That was super fucking weird. Also, where the hell is that kid finding that many yellow eyes?
I just thinking the same thing.
Like, he's going through magazines, just ESPN World. Like, that guy's got a yellow. Like, no, I don't feel like that's not as normal as he thinks it is.
It's either that or he has a lot of yellow markers.
Yeah, that's true. Because highlighter's not coming through clearly like that.
No,
And then he goes back to his hotel room after that and gets what he thinks is being followed by some scary person, and it turns out it's a tiny girl named Ava, who he almost just, like, body throttles.
I know.
And she just says that you're in danger.
Yeah.
And what's also weird to me is, like, this entire time she's explaining herself to him and explaining everything that happens, and Sam's not weird about it. So he's like, yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from. You have the same kind of abilities as us. We should figure this shit out. And she's like, hold on. No. I'm crazy now, but you're, like, super crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go back to my fiance because I need to go get married. And now that I've said my crazy, your crazy sounds crazier than my crazy. So... I'm good. Like, part of me wants to be like, you realize everything you just did is just about as crazy as what he's saying.
Yeah.
But that's too crazy to you. Or the fact that maybe it's him validating her crazy, that she now realizes, like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I want a normal life.
I'm just gonna walk away.
Just walk away. Which also we found weird because Sam brings up a bunch of stuff and we find out that her mom isn't dead.
Mm-mm.
We find out that her mom lives in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
We also find out that Ellen has called Dean and told him where he's at.
Oh, yeah, she did. Way to go, Ellen.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I wish she would have done it sooner.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I get why Sam doesn't want him to be there, but at the same time, like, you're gonna need her. You're gonna need him.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, Ava drove from Illinois.
Yeah.
So it's not like she just, like, took a walk around the block, knew where Sam was gonna be, and was just like, oh, hey, by the way, I dreamed that you're gonna die.
Yeah, when he's like, how did you find me? She's like, well, there was stationery and I, like, looked it up.
I also wish that I had half the ability to remember any of my dreams that these psychic kids have.
I know.
Remember tiny details in their memories. I also like the fact that she was just like, nope, okay, I drove all the way from Peoria, Illinois to save your ass, but now I'm going to fucking leave because you're crazy is way too much. And as she reaches for the door, Sam's just like, if you leave now, you're never going to know anything about your nightmares.
Yeah.
And then it fast forwards to her sitting in Waxler's office with Sam, like, scaling the side of a building, like, thinking he's Spider-Man.
That was so funny.
And obviously Ava has, like, a full breakdown at the fact that she just, like, lied so that Sam could go steal medical history.
Yeah, she's like living on the edge. She's like, it was awesome!
But I do like the fact that, like, I feel like Scotty told a little too much to Dr. Waxler.
Yeah.
Like, I get that he's your psychiatrist, but you probably should have left out the fact that there's a yellow-eyed demon
Yeah.
who apparently has plans for you, and that there's a war coming.
Yeah.
And that people like him are being used as soldiers.
Little TMI.
And then I laughed so hard because Dean breaks into the hotel room and sees Ava and is like, Sam, you sly dog.
Yeah.
It's like him sitting there be like, ooh, Sam, giggity giggity. You didn't have to drive all the way out here for a hookup.
Yeah, I put Dean automatically thinks Sam got himself a girl. He's like, all right.
All right.
And then who ruins everything?
Goddamn Gordon.
Fucking Gordon.
Has to go shoot up the motel room.
Ugh, such a nice blue motel room.
It was one of the nicer motel rooms. Apparently Dean just needs to let Sam pick the motels from now on.
Yeah, it was the Blue Rose Motel.
Whoa, fancy.
That's
No
where you
wonder
take
you
your...
thought Sam was getting some.
Exactly, that's where you take your lady friends. The Blue Rose.
From states away. Just go. Don't want to catch you. Just drive a couple of states, be to the Blue Rose Motel.
Oh, yeah.
I do like the fact that, like, again, be happy Dean showed up, because what did Dean do? He went and go and beat the piss out of Gordon until, you know, he gets knocked out with the butt of a rifle.
Well, yeah. I mean, that happens to the best of us.
It really does, you know?
I mean, if you haven't been hit with the butt end of a rifle in your lifetime, are you really living?
Who also then kidnapped Dean.
Sorry. You had, like, no reaction to that. I'm gonna put
Plausible
crickets.
deniability.
I'm putting crickets in there.
Please do.
Okay.
I also like the fact that Sam realizes, like, he like, by the size of the rounds that, like, Gordon put a suppressor on the rifle.
Yeah, where did he learn that?
He's like, oh, these are .233 caliber rifle rounds. Must have been a suppressor. I'm like, isn't the suppressor? Granted, I don't know things about guns, so if you know anything about a gun, you can educate me on this. But to me, a suppressor is just something that, like, is like a silencer. You just, like, screw it into, like, the front of the gun, and it just, like, silences it.
I was under that impression also.
So, like, I don't understand how that affects the calibers, because if that's the case, then how do you know what kind of rifle it is if you're changing? I don't know. But go Sam for apparently fucking knowing that.
Yeah, seriously.
And apparently now Ava's freaked out because, like, having the dream where somebody got blown up wasn't freaky enough.
Now she's
And then
getting
finding out
shot
she's
at.
not alone, but now she's getting shot at. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? I gave you all my information. Peace the fuck out.
I'm out. Bye.
Can we also talk about how Dean's code word is Funky Town? For, like, I'm in trouble, help me.
I will talk about that later.
Well, at least Sam got Ava out of the way. He tells her to go home, which is also not a great idea now that you've been shot at.
Yeah.
But whatever. And Gordon talks like he has some kind of a moral code.
Oh my god. He just annoys the shit out of me.
Where he's like, where obviously now he has Dean all kind of, like, tied up and gagged. Giggity giggity. But basically says that he wants revenge on the both of them, but he's like, you know what, you're a hunter. I draw a line. I'll beat the shit out of you, but I'm not going to kill you. because
What a
I'm
nice
not a
guy.
killer. But your brother, who's just a psychic, is free game.
Right, yeah, I'll kill him. But shouldn't he, like... But he's a hunter, too, so...
And he's just a psychic. It's not like he can... It's not like he can control people with his mind.
And whose word is Gordon taking? The word of a demon.
Yeah.
He's all kind of jacked up.
He's all kinds of fucked up. He's got, like, Stockholm Syndrome. And it wasn't even a good demon. It was a low-ranking demon. It wasn't even like he was talking to, like, the commander-in-chief demon. Like, commanding 23 legions. It was...
He clearly did not know the rankings of the
No,
demons.
he talked to a low-ranking demon who muttered something about a war.
Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't talking to the king demon of
No.
wherever.
And that the humans are the soldiers, and it's these special children with psychic abilities. And Gordon already knew about Sam's visions from the Roadhouse.
Yeah.
And now apparently these special children are going to be killers.
Ugh.
But obviously Sam finds Dean because they can smell each other's musk, I guess.
Oh, there he is. I see him.
Oh,
Smell him.
do I smell a little of whiskey and
Some
egotism?
pie.
My brother must be here. With a hint of cinnamon.
Ooh.
And obviously Sam picks open the lock of the back door, but already kind of having the preconceived knowledge that he's going to die in this dream, so he kind of figures what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He walks in slowly, which sets off a first explosion, which breaks down part of the wall because this is a shitty-ass rundown house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And Dean wasn't, like, jarred by that one.
No, but he did scream through the gag.
Yeah. It was when the second grenade went off that he was, like, so sad. He was sad.
He had tears coming out of his eyes.
Yeah, it was a very dramatic, like, no, not Sam. Not my Sammy.
Which even Gordon thought that Sam was dead.
Yeah.
Because he sees the shoe on the ground.
The shoe.
The fucking shoe.
But nothing else. The shoe survived.
Sam remembered one part of the dream. He's like, you know what? If I'm not going to die, I at least have to do this right shoe. I wonder if he was like, was it the left shoe or the right shoe? I need this correct.
It was a pretty nice boot, too.
It was. I think he's wearing some Timberlands.
Did he go back and get his shoe?
I hope so. Otherwise, he's running around with one shoe.
I lost my shoe.
I lost my shoe again. I'm surprised he wasn't like, I lost my shoe. Again. Now Sam's got his gun on Gordon. Yeah. Demanding Gordon to drop his gun.
My notes are, come on, Dean. Sammy is smarter than that. He didn't blow up. And then, bam, Sam! And then I had to put it in parentheses, gun on Gordon, so I remembered why I was saying bam, Sam.
But at the same time, at this point, I'm like, did you really trust Gordon to not pull some shady shit?
Yeah.
Like, you really thought he was just going to put his gun on the ground after he just tried to kill you for, like, the 18th time?
Uh-huh.
That he wasn't going to come around and try and just punch you in the face?
Yeah.
But obviously, which also is weird. Like, did he also think that Sam just out of nowhere was going to get this crazy bloodlust because he has psychic abilities and occasionally gets a migraine when he wakes up?
I mean, I get occasional migraines too. Does that mean
you're a killer? Do you have are you a special child? Do you have psychic abilities?
Apparently, all the above.
Because then Gordon's just like, do it. Show your brother the killer you really are, Sammy.
Oh, yeah, like, he's not going to do that, even if you egg him on. He will, though, hit you with the rifle.
Which, I mean, that's just payback for hitting Dean with the rifle.
Who the hell is Dan?
Damn. I was going to say damn. I was combining Sam and Dean's name.
Oh, you do damn and I do seam, so it's okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what had happened. And at the same time, like, part of me also wanted to be like, didn't this just happen in the last episode where Dean was going to pull a trigger on somebody and Sam's like, no, don't do it. Now you have another one where Sam's like, oh, I'm so close and I want you to die for all the shady shit you've done, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Then Dean's obviously ready to fucking kill. Like, in this whole thing, I'm like, Gordon, you have it wrong, bro. Like, Dean is the one who's ready to kill anybody.
Right. Well, he should know that. Remember the vampires?
Yeah. But as soon as Sam unties Dean, Dean's ready to be like, no, I'm going to kill him. Let's do this.
Can we discuss that? Dean is sitting there, like, trying to get out of these ropes, like, jiggling and all this shit. It took Sam 1 second to undo that rope. 1 second. I feel like a flick of the wrist and that thing would have been gone.
I feel like at some point, Daddy Winchester would have tied his children up and left them and been like, all right, figure this shit out or no dinner tonight.
I could just see that happening. Like, I'm going hunting. I'm going to see if you can get out of these.
You're going to tell me at no point did John Winchester, the man who prepared for everything, as we later see,
Yeah.
with his, like, storage unit,
Mm-hmm.
at no point was like, all right, look, I've taught you how to load a gun, make your own sawed-off shotgun at, like, age 6. I've taught you how to kill things. I've taught you how to make hex, like, bags and all this shit. But at no point did John Winchester go, you know what, my kids are going to need to learn how to get out of a rope. They're going to get tied up at some point.
I'm sure there was a class.
Like, I just see it as, like, him ordering a pizza and being like, all right, I'm going. If you guys want to eat, you need to get out of this.
Before the pizza guy gets here.
Yeah. And that's the nice way to do it instead of like, all right, you guys have 3 hours. By the way, I've rigged some explosions in here, so
Good luck.
if you don't want to die, get out of these ropes.
Can we talk about how when Gordon gets back up and like the boys went outside and he gets up and he's like Michael Myers walking toward them trying to shoot them?
Yeah, he walked out with like 2 guns.
But he's not running after them. He's not chasing them. He's like slowly walking like a horror movie killer.
Can we also talk about how Sam and Dean were basically like gophering it?
Yeah.
Because they hear shots and they're running, but they're also ducking
Yeah.
at every shot fired.
Serpentine,
and they hide
serpentine.
They hide in tall grass?
Yeah. Well, I think there was a ditch too.
Yeah, and then 5 cop cars basically surround him and arrest him.
That was the best. When they opened up his secret compartment behind the front seat.
Yep.
I was like, oh, and then Sam's like, it was an anonymous tip.
So obviously Dean gives Ellen a call.
Oh, he yells at her.
Fucking destroys her.
Poor Ellen.
I feel bad because she denies the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I feel even worse because she's like, I'm not disloyal. But she also mentions that the roadhouse is full of hunters.
Yeah, she's like, there's 11 people here right now that could figure it out.
Yeah, Gordon could have gotten it from anybody. And then I feel bad because then obviously Sam tries to get a hold of Ava. Can't get a hold of her. So they decide to keep on hunting. Well, Sam keeps saying he wants to keep on hunting.
Keep on, keep it on.
He would like Dean to have his back.
Yeah.
Enter bitch jerk.
Jerk.
Coy smile. And I'm happy that Sam listens to his gut. Because they go to check on Ava, and poor Brady
Oh, God.
is just destroyed.
That was a bloodbath, literally.
Oh my goodness. He's dead in the bedroom with bloodstains all over the place.
Oh, so gross.
And also, this demon is not a good demon. He left traces of sulfur all over the ledge of the window.
Yep. Didn't clean up after himself.
So at this point, were you thinking that Ava was a demon? Or do you think Ava was taken by a demon?
At this point, I think that she was taken by a demon.
Okay. Then do you think the demon left Ava's engagement ring on the bed for a reason?
That I don't know about.
Because it wasn't until I saw the engagement ring that I was like, oh, maybe she did it. And then the demon was just like, not anymore.
Oh, like she threw it off and left it.
After she killed him.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that.
That was my thought.
I thought it was like one of those things where like it was a struggle and, it might have been too big and it flew off.
She didn't size it yet?
Yeah, probably not.
But that's where we're left. So you got some random shit about this episode?
Don't I always?
Good, I want to hear it.
Okay, well, the first thing I have is I don't have a lot. There wasn't a lot with this episode. But the first thing I have is they mentioned T.J. Hooker, which is a 1980s cop show starring William Shatner.
Good old William Shatner!
Yep.
I love William Shatner.
I know you do.
I met him.
He has a new show. It might not be new. I might just be hearing about it. Is it new?
It's somewhat new, yeah.
Okay. I don't remember what it was called, or I'd plug it. Okay, so you mentioned Funky Town.
Okay, safe word.
Dean's code word.
Yeah.
Funky Town is a 1980 disco song by Lips, with 2 P's, L-I-P-P-S. It was one of the last big disco hits. As we said, it is also Dean's code word to indicate he is in trouble and at gunpoint, specifically.
How many code words are there then? Like, hey, I'm not at gunpoint, I'm at knife point.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Because on IMDb, my news source for everything, they say that this is the only time that Funky Town is used. It says that Sam and Dean's quote-unquote real code word for trouble is Poughkeepsie.
So that's just general trouble?
I guess. In Funky Town is gun trouble? I don't know.
That's so weird. Then I feel like is there monster trouble?
Maybe that's the Monster Mash.
Like, Sam, I took the locomotion today.
You gotta swing your hips now.
You just swing your hips to the left. Sam gets off the phone. He's like, Dean's in trouble. Vampire trouble. We need to go. It's in Kentucky. Like, what?
It's that specific.
It's that, like, if he had said swing your hips to the right, he'd know it's like New York. I don't know.
East Coast, West Coast. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you said earlier about Catherine Isabel, who was Ava.
Yes.
She's another X-Files alumni, and she was also in Freddy vs. Jason.
So wait, she's an X-Files? Oh, I didn't know she was in Freddy vs. Jason. Oh, that's weird. Babe.
So she's an X-Files alumni.
So she's in the X-Files alumni. Guess who's also in Hannibal?
Who?
Gillian Anderson.
Oh.
Yeah, she plays Hannibal's psychiatrist.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What a small world.
Yeah. Now I remember Ava in, and I'm going to call her Ava, and that's not even her real name. In Freddy vs. Jason, she was the one who was married to Douche Bro. Or not married, she was in a relationship with Douche Bro.
Oh, okay.
Who refused to call her by her name, just, babe, give me a beer, babe.
Hey, babe.
Oh, I was so happy when he fucking died.
And then I have that Jared was in Friday the 13th reboot.
Yes, he was. He died in a cabin.
I hate to admit that I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, I watched that for him, and then obviously I watched House of Wax just to watch Paris Hilton die, but he was a nice addition.
When did this movie come out?
What, House of Wax or Friday the 13th?
No, Friday the 13th.
Not too long ago. It was before the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I am an absolute.
But he plays a boyfriend who visits the camp.
Okay, because I'm a Friday the 13th fanatic.
Yeah. You haven't seen that one?
I thought I saw them all. Apparently, I was not in the reboot.
Yep.
Maybe I thought to myself, why would I see the reboot? Because I thought the same thing about Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Little known fact, I have never walked out of a movie except for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot. I got past where Blondie gets his legs lopped off and hung on the hook. And at that point, I was just like, fuck it, I'm out. I'm done. Because my problem was it was just so boring. Because half the thing with horror movies is you don't know who's going to die.
Right.
And even if it's a reboot, usually they change some things around or you like stuff. Like My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
Knew how My Bloody Valentine was going to turn out. But I still watched it because it was very well done. And they changed some things.
Yeah.
Whereas that one, they were like, at the beginning, they tell you how many kids there are. And then they tell you that, like, no one survives. So you're just watching, waiting for people to die. And it just wasn't exciting. And at that point, we were just like, I'm not even in the mood for this. So I'm just going to leave.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie at all.
It didn't tickle my fancy. But yeah,
Anyway.
You should watch it. Jared's in there. Not for long, though.
Okay. I'll have to look it up. I was disappointed in myself that I didn't know about it. Oh, I didn't queue up my international title.
What?
Shoot.
Damn it. Now you gotta say it. Good luck.
Yeah, okay. I'll spell it for you. Most of them meant hunted. So the Polish one, which I thought was interesting, which is spelled Zwierzyna. Good luck.
Nope.
Meant quarry.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
I feel that's like nothing to do with anything, but
Sure.
oh, I feel like I have failed that I didn't have that.
I mean, I'm a little let down, but it's fine.
You want me to go find it real quick?
No.
Lafayette, Indiana is a real town next to West Lafayette.
Which was first?
I don't know. Probably East Lafayette. West Lafayette is home of the Purdue University.
Oh, okay.
And there is in fact a Monroe Street that goes through the town.
Oh, look at Supernatural being honest about this.
Yeah, it's probably a nicer street than the one.
Than the one with the rundown building with like the mattress in front.
Oh, ugh, creepy.
The box spring.
When Dean and Sam are running from Gordon and they jump into the ditch, Jensen actually fell into the ditch.
Oh my god.
And the editors liked it so much that they kept it in the episode.
That's perfect.
They just see him like...
I'm glad he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah, for real. You would end up like Jared with a cast on.
Have to write in another cast 3 episodes later.
There were some goofs in this episode. Sam's injuries don't appear in the car after the whole Gordon deal.
Again, maybe the Impala Mary Poppins just like sucked them out.
I guess. But they the cuts and bruises reappear once they're in Ava's house.
See? It's because they're out of the car.
Yeah, the car is...
Car is magic. Baby is magic.
It keeps you young. And the amount of beer in the glass that Sam has at the Roadhouse changes between shots when Sam is talking to Ash at the bar.
He really needs to stop drinking between scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, where's the continuity person on that one?
Come on.
For
He
real.
was obviously drinking the beer.
Clearly. Okay, that is all that I have for you.
Okay. All right. Well,
what are you going to talk about today?
okay, so this was a little difficult, I'll fully admit. And this might sound like a repeat from when we found out about Max Miller, you know.
Not Mac Miller.
Not Mac Miller, but Max Miller.
Max Miller.
Because this still dealt with the same kind of problem that the special children have, which is their psychic abilities.
Yeah.
So this time I actually kind of focused on the idea of dreaming of the future and divination.
Like in Harry Potter?
Kind of.
Did they have divination class?
Yes, there was a divination class in Harry Potter.
With,
And some of this actually deals with some of the stuff that they do in Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
Yes. So first I'm going to cite my sources. I used fayna.com, Faye as in like the fairy,
Oh, okay.
Merriam-Webster, Britannica, learningreligions.com, and Psychology Today.
Is it no longer Encyclopedia Britannica?
Well, I use Britannica.com.
Oh, okay. Do you remember the Encyclopedia Britannica commercials on TV?
Oh my god,
With,
yes.
like that redheaded kid in glasses? Those were the best.
Turns out that's now like, it's a Weasley.
Oh my god!
It might be a Weasley.
It could be. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so divination means to be inspired by God, or to be inspired by a god, or a higher power. And according to Merriam-Webster, it means the art or practice that seeks to foresee or foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge, usually by the interpretation of omens or by the aid of supernatural powers. It can also mean unusual insight or intuitive perception. The first known use of divination was actually in the 14th century, and it comes from the Latin divinatio or divinare. The different types of divination include, because it's not just one, divination is like the overbearing. So if it was like the jellyfish body,
Oh,
and then the different types of the tentacles.
I like that analogy.
Yes. I guess I could have used like the tree, but
No, I like the jellyfish way better.
is where we're going to go with it.
I like it.
So the first being astrology. In the Middle Ages, astrology was considered actually a fundamental liberal art. It was actually used as an authorized source of information in royal courts. So instead of just like seeking out the information, they could confer to an astrologist, and that was just as good as actually seeing it happen.
Oh, okay. Like, I take your word for it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Then there's automatic writing.
Oh, I've seen that on TV.
Yes. It's what they do is they think that they disconnect from their own consciousness, and they're actually connecting with a spirit guide. That's the most common practice of automatic writing, or that they just close their consciousness and let their subconscious take over, which then is usually used with a pen and a paper to do automatic writing, which is where they have messages come forth, quote, through the veil. Then there's psychometry,
I've seen that on TV too.
which is also known as object reading,
It was all in the same show, by the way.
which is kind of more similar to Scotty Boy's thing, where a person can learn about an event or a person simply by touching an object. So they believe that the object can hold energy. So it's not necessarily that you're seeing the future, but more so that you can read the past.
Okay. That's
So
interesting.
you can see, like, if somebody were to go to Gettysburg and touch a cannon, they'd be able to see that battle that cannon was in, or the person that was either killed by that cannon or the person who was running the cannon.
Okay. Yeah, that show I saw it on, she did a portrait, like a painting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can see like a person that object is tied to.
Mhm.
Also, same thing. If a little girl was very tied to like a teddy bear, that person would be able to touch the teddy bear and see that little girl.
Yeah.
Another form of divination is palmistry.
Palmistry. Is it what I think it is?
It is, which is also known as, and I don't know if it's a ch or a k sounding, but it's chiromancy,
Okay.
which is palm reading.
Okay.
And it's using the lines of the hand to tell different pieces of someone's life, which they believe can then foretell the future. So there's like a lifeline and a love line. And depending on the breaks in those lines will tell the reader something about it. And I wish I could go more in depth, but I cannot read palms.
You can't?
I try to read my own, and it's difficult because one of the problems with some of these divinations, especially if you're doing your own, is reading too much into it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And obviously, if you know more about your life, you'll be like, oh, well, obviously this break in my love life means that the divorce I just went through was totally going to happen. And like that kind of stuff.
That's my anniversary for that today.
Really?
8 years, yeah.
Congratulations on your freedom.
Thank you. It's my
You're
Independence Day.
It is your Independence Day! Oh my goodness. Another form is numerology. And numerology is actually one of the more easier divinations that pretty much almost anyone can do. You just got to consult the internet with what it means.
I believe everything on the internet.
But what numerology does is that it supposedly determines your life path by using your birthday. And numerology only uses numbers 1 through 9, and there are only 3 master numbers where they allow double digits, which are 11, 22, or 33.
Does it tell you why those numbers?
Because what you end up doing, so in order to do it, and I did it with my birthday just to show an example in case anybody wanted to try, is basically you take your month, day, and full year,
Okay.
and you add everything up until you get a single digit or the double digits 11, 22, or 33.
Oh, okay.
Because numerology only deals in numbers 1 through 9
Yeah.
as life paths. So like for me, I'm January 12th, 1988. So I added up 1, 12, and then 1988. So I did 1, 1, 2, 1, 9, 8, 8 until I got, so those added up to 31. And then obviously because that's not a master number, I added up 3 and 1, which gave me the life path of 4. And according to my life path of 4, I looked it up, I am the systems builder and teacher.
Okay.
And I used Felicia Bender.
Hey, Felicia. Not by Felicia.
She is a practical numerologist.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if you want to, you can go to add your stuff up, go to her website, and then click your life path number that you end up getting.
I get a 9.
Basically, according to her, and if I were to read this, if I were to audition for the cast of Winnie the Pooh, I would land the role of Owl.
Oh, okay.
I am cerebral, intelligent, and a seeker of knowledge. I'm all about developing stability through slow and steady processes. I like to build solid foundations. I devour information on topics or subjects that interest you.
You devour it.
I devour. Apparently, my mantra, because she throws in mantras too, I don't want to argue, but let me tell you why I'm right. Again, my Capricorn is apparently just coming right through in my life path.
I love it.
Home is important, and I crave the sense of security that home exemplifies. I feel personally attacked, so I'm going to stop reading.
I just did mine real quick. I'm a 9.
Okay. You're a 9.
A 9. And
Okay.
that is the charismatic and creative humanitarian.
There you go. Do you want to give me some of yours so you can feel personally attacked too, hopefully?
It says that the 9 vibration is that of a wise old soul returning to wrap things up. Okay. It's a lifetime to focus fully and completely on letting go and surrendering and on gaining and acting upon higher spiritual principles.
Do you have a mantra?
Is that, I don't, unless it's
Are you
bold.
on Felicia?
Yeah. Unless it's bold, I'm not saying it.
Hold up, I'm going to go to you too. I just keep reading mine, and I'm like, you have a sensible, traditional, well-behaved way about you, and you aren't into people who are otherwise.
Oh my god. It says you're certainly at your best when you're moving with the flow rather than ensconced in old stories about the past and replaying old hurtful experiences, or even replaying only the happy Disney moments in your mind. It's all a matter of balance and perspective. I do that.
See, you just need to go through and read this. See, it's weird. So out of all the divinations, to be honest, because I've done palmistry, which is kind of weird because the guy was kind of spot on. Numerology honestly hits it kind of on the head if you want to know more about yourself. So anyone listening, if you want to figure out your life path, go to FeliciaBender.com or Google anything because it'll give you a life path. Just add up your numbers till you get a single digit or the master numbers 11, 22, or 33, and share us with what you get. I'm curious if there are any other 4 life paths out there.
Yeah, or 9s. This is just creepy to read.
It is really weird.
It's so I'm going to have to read more about it later, but it's so kind of spot on.
Yeah, I stopped reading mine too, and honestly I didn't read it before I got this because I wanted us all to feel like we were exploring numerology together, but I feel personally attacked. Okay, so another type of divination is clairvoyance, which clairvoyance means clear seeing, which is also known as the sixth sense or ESP.
Okay.
So that would be more of like that spidey senses.
Ooh, like the tingles?
Yes.
Like you gotta chill?
Mm-hmm. And some clairvoyant can actually see auras of people.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So it's the fact that they can clearly see through everything going on to see your aura. So they can see if somebody's a good person or a bad person, or like they might be going through something because your aura reads differently.
Yeah.
Here's our Harry Potter divination.
Oh, yeah.
Tea reading.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, is it tea leaves?
Or tessography.
So that's a real thing.
It is a real thing, and it's actually extremely difficult to do because what you have to do is you have to read the dregs of somebody's teacup, essentially. And different things mean different situations. So, like, one of the things I read was if somebody were to read a mountain in your teacup, then that would signify some kind of obstacle you have to get over.
Oh, okay.
Another form of divination is tarot cards.
Oh, my friend used to do that.
I'll say, ironically, it is the most popular form of divination because apparently everybody can read tarot. I actually have like 4 friends who practice tarot.
Yeah.
And I wish I could. But again, I feel like that's one of those things where I'd read it too much into it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I already know the situations going through, so I'd much rather, and it's one thing that I do when I get my tarot read, is I ask certain questions because I'm curious to see, and I feel like a horrible person as this is going to come out, if they're true.
I don't think that's horrible. I think
Because I feel like some people say that they are psychics, and
Right.
not necessarily so.
Right.
Where somebody can be like, oh, I see the letter A somewhere in your life. And I'm like, that's not. Now, if somebody were to be like, I see the letter A with somebody in your past who did this to you, like specifically, and I'd be like, oh my God.
Right.
That would be different. So I prefer a more specific tarot reader.
Oh, no, I do too. I think they should be that way.
Which my friend actually did this online because I guess you can buy tarot readings on Etsy now.
Oh.
And she bought a tarot reading on Etsy, and I guess she sent this lady her picture and like a description about her. And from what my friend said, she was pretty spot on with some stuff she did not mention.
Oh, yeah?
So
That's cool.
I would love for someone to read my tarot, and I would love to meet somebody who's actually like, it's my goal is I just want to meet a psychic who can like read my shit for real.
Yeah. I think that would be a super cool experience, but then I'd be kind of like freaked out.
Well, I've had my tarot read 3 times. Once when I was super young, which basically told me I'd move out to California and see how well that's working out.
There's still time.
And then apparently, like, my love is, like, some dealing with, like, the letter F. And I was like, there's no good people with the letter F, and I haven't met anyone with the letter F, like Fred, Frank, Francois. Like,
I was like, those are the only two letter Fs.
Neither of those are a T or a H for Tom Hiddleston, so. And then I had my tarot read when I was in Salem, and I don't remember it too much because there was a lot of chaos going on, and I was with the guy I was dating, so it was kind of hard to have like an actual tarot reading.
Yeah.
When the lady's like, is that the guy you're dating? Okay, well, I can't say some stuff I want to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool.
I'm like, why don't you leave then? Bye.
And why don't you go check out the Harry Potter store next to this?
I'll meet you
Yeah.
when I'm done.
We'll meet at Raven's Nest later.
There you go.
Another form of divination is precognition, which is essentially what Sam and Ava are.
Okay.
And that is the foreknowledge of an event, especially foreknowledge of a paranormal kind.
Ooh.
So actually there has been some proof that this does exist,
Okay.
in that in the 16th century, a group of Spanish priests actually transcribed the dreams of a young woman named Lucrecia de Leon over the span of a year. And she was actually able to predict the failure of the Spanish Armada and its attack of England in 1588.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it was one of those things, because they kept a rolling track of these dreams she had, they were able to prove that she predicted this before.
Yeah. Like she didn't come out after saying, well, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. She was actually eventually arrested by the Inquisition
Okay.
and charged with treason and heresy.
No. Okay.
So in 2015, a demographic study in Sleep and Dream database asked if the individual had ever had a dream that seemed to anticipate or predict the future or a future event. Out of the 2,303 individuals, 1,304 were female, 999 males. I guess they couldn't get that one extra to roll it over.
I was going to say, where's the other dude?
30% of females said yes, and 19% of males also said yes.
Would that be kind of like if you had like a deja vu moment, or would you have to remember like the entire dream thing?
That I'm not sure.
Because
They
I've
weren't
had
specific.
deja vu before, like when it happens, you're like kind of like, I've done this before. This has happened before. Where there's a glitch in the matrix. How did it happen?
Well, some people, okay, so and I'm going to go through theories that I've heard over my time that are not in my notes. So I've
Okay.
heard that deja vu can actually be either the fact that, so if you go off of the idea that there are multiple realities, the
Okay.
Marvel theory,
Okay.
and that there are multiple realities, so that means that there are multiple versions of you. So like if the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was the biggest example. So there was a Spider-Man, there was Miles Morales, who's a version of Spider-Man. There's Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen, who instead of Peter Parker dies, and she becomes, there's the retired, there's Noir, there's Spider-Pig. So there's these different versions of Spider-Man
Yeah.
in
Sorry.
the multiverse.
Spider-Pig got me.
Yeah, he's a thing.
I know. I see.
So there's that. Spider-Pig
Spider-Pig.
does whatever a Spider-Pig does.
can.
Does he swing from a web? No, he can't, because he's a pig. Look out. Here comes Spider-Pig.
Yes.
I don't own any of that song. I don't claim to own any of that song. Don't come at me. But, so the idea that there is this multiverse going on, it's some kind of like twinge in which one of you had dealt with the same kind of thing. So it's kind of like your gut telling you that something has already happened,
Okay.
because a different version of you has already gone through that same event.
Oh, that's so weird.
And then there's the idea that your subconscious already knew that this was going to happen. And this is where that precognition kind of comes in, which I think is where that deja vu, like, oh, I know, I've seen this before.
Okay.
Because your subconscious has already showed it to you, but because it was in your conscious didn't realize. So that feeling is your consciousness meeting with your subconscious and acknowledging it.
Okay. Interesting.
And this has been my TED Talk. Thank you. So Carl Jung, a Swiss psychologist, proposed, quote, perspective function for dreams, meaning that various impressions from daily life are used in the unconscious and used to envision possible aspects of someone's future. Meaning that in your awakening time, your body takes things from daily life, and when you're sleeping, your subconscious is constantly working and pulling from your conscience to come up with these possible outcomes for your future.
Okay.
Which is essentially what your dreams are. And this idea can actually be traced back to Aristotle. So the interpretation of dreams didn't really start happening until Sigmund Freud began to kind of unravel it.
Oh, good old Siggy.
He's quoted as saying psychoanalysis is actually founded on the analysis of dreams, which was in 1912. And according to Freud, dreams are fundamentally a means for fulfilling the wishes that we are not able to fulfill during our waking lives. So basically, when you're dreaming, your subconscious is releasing these repressed desires, and they manifest in our dreams in a secret language, which is where that whole like dreaming, like if you dream that you're naked at your job, that means that you're actually, there's something behind it. Or if you dream of a cloud, that means a certain thing. So like that dream interpretation
Yeah.
that people like read into dreams meaning something came from.
Do you dream about being naked at work, Liz?
I actually have never had a work dream.
I don't think I have either.
And I think the closest I might have had was when I worked at the haunted house.
Okay.
But the weird thing that I've noticed my dreams do, and I asked a coworker when they were talking about a dream, is that I never dream of an exact place from my consciousness. So I've had dreams where I've been in my school,
Uh-huh.
but my school isn't exactly my school.
Okay.
The rooms are different, but like the hallways are longer, or something's different,
Right.
where I can physically tell that it's not, but it feels like it is that school.
Right.
I had a dream that I was in a house, and like I was like, oh, this is my house, but like obviously there's more rooms and stuff, but the feeling was that it was my house, but the look, something was different. And I guess that's that kind of inception idea,
Yeah.
where because no one's controlling your mind, you know you're in a dream because something's different, whereas inception works to recreate it almost perfectly so you don't know you're in a dream.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing all kinds of like Spider-Man, Inception, welcome to my So Carl Jung actually differed his theory from dreams from Sigmund Freud, and according to him, dreams do not deceive, lie, distort, or disguise. They're actually what he called a dialogue between the ego and the self. So Jung also, if anyone ever took any kind of psychology, the id, ego, superego.
Mm-hmm.
So the id being kind of like the evil, the ego being yourself, and the superego being your subconscious. The ego is a reflective process encompassing our conscious being, while self is the organismic
The what?
organismic process.
I thought we were going to start talking about something totally different there, Liz.
No. Organismic process encompassing the totality of our physical, biological, psychological, social, and cultural being that includes the consciousness as well as the unconscious.
Okay.
So the dialogue between the two concerns recent memories, present difficulties, and future solutions. So what it does is it kind of like internalizes the past, including what you're going through, and constantly tries to like figure out your outcomes.
Oh, okay.
So like if you're going through a rocky part of your relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not sure, you're uncomfortable with where you are, you're unsure of where you're going to go, but you want it to go a certain way, what ends up happening according to Jung is that based on what you've gone through in the past while you're sleeping, your subconscious is constantly pulling from daily life, trying to figure out all of these different aspects, which could then come across as trying to see the future,
Oh,
which then you could get deja vu in case something happens.
Yeah. happens. It happens all the time.
So, little dream talk for you. Next time you fall asleep and you wake up like you think you just saw the future, you just got younged. Just kidding, that's not a real term, don't. I'm not a psychologist, I don't pretend to be.
You've been younged.
You've been young. But if you do have something like that, tweet at us and tell us because I want to know.
Heck yeah, we want to know all these things.
Or if you have the same kind of like dream distortion that I have where you feel like you're in a specific place but then there's something off. I don't know. At least I know I'm not alone because my one coworker told me that they deal with it too.
Yeah.
But and the crazier part is, in all this, I'm actually curious and I want to look it up. I'll probably do it when we get off of this. I was always curious about reoccurring dreams.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what they mean, because as a little kid, I always had the same reoccurring dream, and like little things would change, and occasionally, like, so I'll tell you, and if somebody knows, please slide into my DMs and let me know, because maybe I was just a messed up kid. So growing up, my parents had an Oldsmobile,
Okay.
wood paneling and everything, and when I was really young, I'd have this reoccurring dream, and I lived near a river, and 2 blocks from my house, there was the boat dock with a boat launch, and then 3 or 4 blocks over, there's a bridge that crosses the river for cars to go across. So every night, occasionally I would have this dream that would happen where I would be driving the Oldsmobile far too young, probably couldn't reach the pedal. But I was driving the Oldsmobile, and I always ended up in the river. Sometimes I would just take the boat dock and end up in the river. Sometimes my younger brother, would be in the car with me in the passenger seat. And sometimes I would try to cross the bridge, but somehow, no matter what, would always fall off the side of the bridge and end up in the river.
In the car?
Mhm.
That's terrifying.
And I had this dream like 10 plus times in my
Oh my
life.
goodness.
I haven't had it in a long, long time, but like throughout my childhood, this dream was a recurring thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what that means, but
I don't think the only time I have, well, it's not reoccurring because it's different every time I have it. But like if you're sleeping and you have to go to the bathroom, I have a dream that like I can find a bathroom, but none of the stalls have doors on them. It's always a public restroom. And wait, hold on, you have that dream too? Sorry, Arby's telling me she has that dream too. How weird is that?
what?
I made a public bathroom, but they don't have any doors.
But then do you have to wake up and go to the bathroom?
Sometimes.
That is so
Oh
weird.
my goodness! Dreams are crazy!
It's so weird.
But that tells my body to wake up because obviously I'm not gonna, pee
Yeah.
myself. So that's so weird that you have those dreams too.
Like, I don't think all the time.
Not all the time, no, but like
Sometimes I'm like,
Oh my goodness, you and your daughter have the same dream!
that's so crazy. Yeah, like I'll have to like go to the bathroom, and then I find a public restroom and I will check like every stall in this restroom in my dream and none of them have doors and I'm not just gonna and there's people in there. It's not like it's just like there's no one in the restroom. You're not gonna just pee in front of people.
Yeah.
And I think that's what wakes me up and it's like, you really have to go. You have to go now. Yeah. Oh, that's so crazy, Aubrey. You have the
so
same
weird.
dream. I told you about my dream the other day.
Yeah.
Right? One of those dreams where you wake up and you can fall back in the same spot. That's pretty nice.
I always liked those dreams, but sometimes I would have like horror movie style dreams.
Yeah, I would.
Where I would wake up and I would specifically like stay awake because I did not want to go back into it.
Right, yeah, that's not a good one to go back to. Mine was a dream about Kip Moore, so it was totally different.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. Is I dove into divination and dream interpretation.
I didn't realize that all those things were considered divination.
And there's
Tarot
actually
cards
a lot. There's a lot more too.
A lot of tentacles on that jellyfish.
A lot of tentacles on that jellyfish.
I love it. I don't even know what the episode for next time is, do you?
For episode 11.
Yeah.
I don't.
Season 2, episode 11.
I feel like I looked ahead and now I just forget it.
Playthings.
Oh, that episode.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Once
Oh,
you
yeah, I
realize
do.
what it is, you're like, okay, I can.
I'm not good with titles. I read all the time on Twitter, people are like this, just a random name of an episode. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You need to give me like what actually happened in the episode. Okay, well that was interesting. We got crazy there at the end. We had a crazy beginning, we had a crazy ending.
I hope everyone stayed along for the ride.
Oh, me too.
Oh, thank you guys for riding that one out with us. For an episode that we said that wasn't not much happened.
You know that happens to us every time we're like, this episode
Really?
kind of stunk, we really didn't like it, and then we end up talking for like a couple hours on it.
Well, I wonder if it's because I feel like subconsciously I'm like, oh, because this didn't have much, I gotta dig deeper for something to talk about. So then I try and find something that's interesting, and it turns out that I get drawn in.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't have a lot of random stuff so that you could talk more about divination.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I always like random stuff, so I'll take that too.
Well, you're welcome. Now I have more places to get it, so.
Yes, all the sources.
I'm just tacking them on now. I got 3.
Hey,
Well, no, 4, I guess if you count my rankings, that's like
4,
5.
5.
Yeah. So, Urban Dictionary 6.
See, you don't give yourself enough credit. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to us on this episode.
Thank you.
Keep sharing us. And, oh my goodness, how about that tweet about people wanting to talk to us, actually, about Supernatural?
Oh my god, that was
Let's
like
talk
the
about
coolest
that
thing
for a
ever.
second.
Oh, and while I'm looking that up, what about Deanna, who said that she read something in your voice?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know if you want me to be the soundtrack to your subconscious. Just add me onto your inner dialogue. It's like a map quest voice. And now I'm like, which voice? Because apparently, according to my mom, my voice keeps changing.
So this tweet was from season 14, Time for a Podcast.
They're not wrong.
They tweeted at us and Two Chicks Pod. It's two chicks in the plural of apocalypse. And then the Hey Ass Butt podcast. And us. And they said they want to do a super show. But they don't
All of us talking supernatural. I would love that. Just because I love talking about supernatural. So, like, the more people I can get talking about supernatural, the better. And I hope somebody is, like, really obsessed with a character that I don't necessarily care for.
Oh, that would be cool. I think it would be a lot of fun. And if you guys, because they said, but for what episodes? If you guys have any ideas on what episode you would want these 4 awesome podcasts to talk about, let us know.
Obviously, my vote is changing channels.
Yeah. I knew that. See, I know that title. I know that one.
Or the mystery spot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, send us suggestions because I think that'd be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah,
and then it doesn't have to just be us all the time. You can listen to other people.
People that want to collaborate with us. Oh, that's another thing. I posted on Twitter about the voicemail.
Yes.
You guys can actually record. You don't need any equipment. Use your phone. Use your computer.
Anything that has a microphone.
Yeah, and it's just simple. On our website, there's a widget on the side, and all you have to do is click record. Say what you want to say. I think you get like 60 to 90 seconds, and then you can do it anonymously. But I mean, I'd prefer if you had your name at least in your recording, or you can put your name in. You don't have to put your email. You can just put your name or your Twitter handle or however you want to be identified, and then we can actually take that recording and put it in our episode, so we can hear, like, everybody can hear you.
Anything you want to say, your thoughts on the episode that we're coming up to, like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, like right now, you know that we're talking about what playthings.
Yeah.
Next, so like if you watch that episode, you really have something you want to say, like you can leave us that voicemail and we'll get to it and add it into that episode.
Yeah, I mean, you can even just leave random thoughts on anything because that's pretty much what we do. So.
And you listen to it, so and also. Be sure to check out our website soon because we should have some bios up there, and then eventually we'll have some photographs.
Pictures.
Of us.
Oh, of us.
What do you think it's going to be?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Look at this random dog.
Yeah, we're going to have pictures, and yeah, but there's a whole blog section, so we can just start writing, random crap down.
Which will eventually be a top favorite characters, top favorite villains, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff written down that we can add to that.
So keep your eyes peeled. We're working on new things.
Yep, and that's also another place that you can go listen to episodes. There's a whole podcast button that has every time. It's connected to our feed, so every time it updates when we put a new episode up.
And then you can take that link and share it with your friends and family.
Yes, share it with everyone.
Or share it with strangers you don't even know.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, you can make friends or frenemies.
Oh.
No one knows, but thank you guys so much for listening to us again.
Thank you. We always have a hard time ending these.
And make sure to share us with your friends, families, anyone you like or know.
Yes.
Check out our social medias. Share us on your social medias, and just keep listening and loving us. All right, guys. Till next time. Thank you.
Bye.
You've been listening to Balls, a supernatural podcast with Lizzie and Missy. If you want more, follow on Twitter and Instagram at SPNBallsPod or email spnballspod@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe and follow Balls on your favorite streaming service.